Good afternoon, this is Sean Golding with Golding & Golding here to do a quick update to a prior presentation we did more than 5 years ago about the IRS finding your accounts. And over the past several years, the IRS has developed more methods, more ways to go after your foreign accounts, and unfortunately, compliance has become an enforcement priority. So who has to report foreign accounts? U.S. citizens, lawful permanent residents, foreign nationals who meet the substantial presence test like you're here on a visa, EB-5, L1, H-1B, B1, B2, etc. There might be some exceptions, exclusions, or limitations, but for the most part, if you fall into one of those three categories, chances are you're going to have to report. So what are the common ways that the U.S. government gets your information? Well, the most common way is FATCA. FATCA is the Foreign Account Tax Compliance Act in over 110 foreign countries, and hundreds of thousands of foreign financial institutions, FFIs, have agreed to report U.S. account holders to the U.S. government, which means the foreign institutions monthly, quarterly, semi-annually report customers at their institution that are U.S. persons, which is why when you go in there to sign up for an account, you have to provide whether you're a U.S. person or not. That means the IRS has your information out. Whether they act on it or not is separate, but it's important to note that they have it, and so if they decide that they do want to act on it, something to keep in mind. Audits. A lot of times a taxpayer will be in an audit, and even unrelated. So yeah, you might get an FBAR audit, and well, then you know that you're under audit for foreign accounts, but you may have created a new business, or you took a lot of deductions and you made a lot of money this year and you're under audit, and you get your examination notice, you get an IDR, which is an information document request, and it's a very basic request that may just ask, hey, do you have any income from overseas? Do you have any accounts or assets outside of the United States? And you start to go down that road, the agent realizes you have these unreported accounts and assets and investments, and that could also lead to fines and penalties. And then you got the whistleblowers, those naggy people who, maybe an ex-business partner, an ex-spouse, an ex-lover, somebody who just doesn't like you, or just someone randomly who knows you committed fraud and wants to get at you, right? There are, unfortunately, those type of hater people out there. And so they go to the IRS and they complete one of these kind of whistleblower applications. They call it in so that the IRS now has that information. There might have been no other way for them to get it, but especially, you're going through a divorce and the spouse learns during the divorce proceedings that you have these foreign accounts that weren't reported, and somehow it gets to the IRS, right? Penalties can be severe, not always, but they can be depending on the type of penalty. FBAR. Avoid the nonsense about criminal. 99% of the time it's not criminal. Civil could be willful or non-willful. Non-willful is limited to about $10,000 per year, but it adjusts for inflation. Willful could be significantly higher depending on what the maximum value of the unreported accounts are. 8938 is typically a $10,000 penalty, but there's a continuing failure to file, so that go up to another $50,000. And then things like 3520, 3520A, 5471, 8865. These penalties can be significant just depending on the value of the gift or how much the value of the foreign entity is or the partnership, things of that nature. So if you think that you're out of compliance and you want to get into compliance, the IRS has developed various amnesty programs. These are great programs. They're safe. If you're willful, you do the VDP program. If you're non-willful, there's various other programs available to you, the streamlined procedures, delinquency procedures, and reasonable cause. We got a ton of free information available on our main website and our sub-websites. You can always reach out and schedule a reduced fee initial consultation if it's appropriate to your matter, and it's something that we handle here. Again, my name is Sean Golding with Golding & Golding. Thank you for your time. Enjoy the rest of your day.